driven coaching podcast where our mission is to help you become who you're meant to be. My name is Coach Cam, and today I want to talk to you about how you feel. Now, before you run away screaming because you don't want to talk about your feelings, this episode is more about your physical feelings. Don't get me wrong, mindset and emotional control is super important for your growth. But there is one thing a lot of us get wrong when we start our journey. It's neglecting to work on our physical health too. Your physical health is intrinsically linked to your mental health and vice versa. So what does this mean in the simplest of terms? You can work all day and all week on your mindset, emotional regulation, education, and making more opportunities for yourself. But if your physical health is off, you're making it 10 times harder on yourself than it needs to be. There are 3 key things you need to get right in order to be physically healthy: sleep, nutrition, and exercise. If you get these 3 simple things right, then not only will you feel better in your own skin, but it'll help your mind as well. So let's start off with the one that everybody hates: exercise. I need you to get something in your mind straight off the bat here. The advice I'm giving you is not about getting an influencer from Instagram's body or your ideal 6-pack abs for the beach. This is about optimizing your health so your mind and body work together to benefit you. I'm also not talking about the kind of exercise that David Goggins does, flogging the absolute shit out of yourself until you can't move. Especially if you have not exercised in a long time, going out and doing an extreme style of exercise will only cause you pain, injury, and worse, will force you to stop. Exercise can be as simple as going for a 15 to 30 minute walk, which incidentally enough is a great time to listen to a podcast or an audiobook to grow your mindset too, killing 2 birds with 1 stone, as they say. For some of you though, a walk might not be enough to feel a real difference. And that's okay. There's countless options you can do, from running to taking up a sport and everything in between. But regardless of how you start, your body will adapt over time. So you can always push it a little bit more the more you adapt. When I first started my journey to feeling better physically, I was just going for walks, 10-15 minute walks. 6 odd years later, my weekly routine sounds something like this. I wake up at 5 a.m. and I go to the gym. I do a weight session for around about 45 minutes. Then straight to the sauna, 15 odd minutes. With no break in between, I go swimming for around about 15 minutes. Then I'm back in the sauna for 15 minutes, cool down and stretch. On top of this, I also do Muay Thai around about twice a week for about an hour and a half each time. I'm not telling you this because I think this is what you should do. Far from it. This is just an example of how starting small and building into something that you love doing over time can help you physically. And trust me, you will feel great the longer you stick at it. Exercise releases massive amounts of endorphins and has so many long-term health benefits that it's insane to think that most people just simply don't exercise. So start today, start small, and soon you'll start to feel better. And your mind and your body will work better together. The second factor we need to talk about is nutrition. I'm not going to sell you on the benefits of Diet X or Diet Y or trying to convince you to become a vegan or start fasting. There's a million people out there telling you to do a million different things. And guess what? Only you can decide what works for you. But there's one simple thing, one simple fact when it comes to nutrition. If you put shit in your body, you're going to feel like shit. It's that simple. Don't get me wrong. Out of everything a person can struggle with in life, this is one of the hardest things for me because food tastes amazing. Our brains aren't wired to handle the huge amounts of sugar and carbohydrates and preservatives and everything else that goes into food. We're just not wired for it. But if you eat clean and in sensible portion sizes, you will feel fantastic. Especially if you're exercising regularly. Most of us know what the brain is majorly built from, right? Neurons. They control everything from memory to our breathing and everything in between. But did you know that the gut, our stomach, has neurons too. The human brain has approximately 100 billion neurons. That's billion with a B. And your gut has an astonishing 500 million neurons that are connected to your brain via your nervous system. So the mind-body link isn't just some made-up fluff. It's literally built into you. Now, before we go on, I'm not saying that you should never indulge. If you go out with your friends on a Friday night, have fun. That's what life's about. But during the week and straight after your bender, your night out, get back on the wagon and look after your body, fueling your progress on clean and healthy foods. The last thing we need to talk about, sleep. Again, I'm not here to tell you how much sleep you need. Some people out there say 8 hours. Some people only sleep 4 hours. The number is irrelevant. We're all built differently, and we all have a shifting baseline over time. In the past, when I was a younger fella, I used to be 100% perfect to have 4 or 5 hours sleep and kick off the next day. No problem at all. But as I age, I'm in my 40s now, I need around about 7 to 8 hours to feel normal. The long and the short of it is simple. Figure out your optimum sleep and stick to it until it doesn't serve you anymore. But the most important thing is to figure it out. If you just go willy-nilly, then you're never going to feel good the next day. Figure it out. You need to try 6 hours. Did you feel good? Yes, no. 8 hours? Yes, no. 10 hours? Yes, no. Whatever it may be, you need to figure it out. The sad fact is that so many of us don't get enough sleep. And it's our own bad habits and choices that are causing us not to get sleep. Sleep is so important for you. When you sleep, your body repairs itself. It helps regulate your immune system. If you're wanting to lose weight, you need sleep. But the most important bit, which is the whole point of this episode, is that you need sleep to have a clearer mind. There's no point trying to grow your mindset and build the life that you want for yourself if you're hindering yourself by not sleeping right, by not eating right, by not exercising. The whole point of this episode, if you've missed it so far, is not so much that you have to do X, Y, Z to get your goal. It's that you have to figure out your optimum levels for each of these categories: sleep, nutrition, and exercise. Once you have your optimum levels for you, you will be able to start building a better mindset for a better life. It really is that simple. So take this newfound knowledge and implement it in your life. Getting these 3 core things correct and optimal for you will make sure that you can grow faster, grow quicker, and reach your goals. If you found this helpful, join us over on Patreon, where you will find more tips to increase your chances of success and start your journey on becoming who you're meant to be.